Hello gin lovers and welcome back to No Nonsense Gin Reviews with me, Bobby Freeman, where today we're going to be talking about the difference between gin and tonic and neat gin. Now then, until recently, or certainly before I started this channel, I never drank gin without tonic. That was the only conceivable way I imagined or thought that you could drink gin or would want to drink gin. Obviously I know you could have it in cocktails and some people have like gin and orange and stuff, but generally for me it was gin and tonic, that was your choice. However, since I started the channel, I found out that lots of other people do in fact like to have it without tonic and with varying different things. In fact, I did a separate video the other day about different mixes that you could possibly use. And of course, a lot of people like to have it neat or on the rocks. Now I should point out again, I made a bit of a fool of myself when I did the Aviation Gin neat video, because that was the first time I'd ever drunk gin without putting tonic in. So to me, it was neat, but stupidly, I put some ice in it to make it cold. It was a really hot day. In fact, I'm sweating profusely in the video. And of course, that obviously made it on the rocks. And lots of people have chastised me for it. So yes, I am an idiot. Please feel free to go and abuse me on the sections below that video, as many other people have done. So today we're going to have a look at what gins work best either neat or with tonic. So first up, seeing as though we've just been talking about it, is the good old Aviation American Gin. Now this is actually one of the gins I think works better when it is neat, not on the rocks. So I've got a bit with the tonic in here, and I did review this originally, and it is nice, I do like it. But it's not until I tried the neat, I really realised, okay, this is what it's all about. So, and this is an American gin, of course, and I tend to find American gins do work best if you're going to have a neat gin. The American gins usually lend themselves to it. This is a bit weaker on the juniper because they smash them up and sort of beat them before they put them into the distillation process. So let me just remind myself of the... Yeah, see, it's okay, it's not too bad. Very, very different from the London Dries, but when you get a little bit of the old... Ho, ho, ho! Oh, it's literally an adventure. It is an adventure. You're going to get way more out of this one when you drink it neat, I think. The reason we put tonic in stuff is because, especially using the fever tree, it brings out some of the flavours in the gins. That's why we have it. But I tend to find that works more in the London Dry gins. For some reason, I don't know why, the American gins tend to work better when they're neat. That's okay, but this is much, much more. You're going to get... The flavours seem to burst in when you have it neat in a way they don't do with the tonic, in the same way that they do with the London Dries. As I said, I'm not a scientist, I don't know why, but that's just the situation. So I say Aviation Gin, drink it neat. Cheers. So from one end of the scale to the other, we're going to look at a gin now which works best with the tonic rather than neat, in my opinion, of course. And I could choose any of the London Dries that you see around me here, but I'm going to choose the Tanqueray here, the Tanqueray number 10 in fact, purely because it is closest to me and I don't have to lean over there. So like I say, this is a London Dry, good old-fashioned London Dry. And I personally, I mean, this is, you know, it's all subjective. Everyone has their different opinions. If you disagree with me, put a comment in the section below. But I have never enjoyed a London Dry neat particularly. I think the flavours are kind of released more when you drink it with the tonic. I think they're, weirdly, I don't feel like you, although you are technically watering it down, I don't feel like you are watering it down. I feel like you are sort of releasing those flavours and enhancing the flavours. Strangely, when you have it neat, I feel a little bit locked away from it. It's just like a real big harsh punch and some of those flavours are lost in it. So let me just remind myself. Here we go. Oh, that's very, very nice. This is one of those gins you literally cannot go wrong with. Whenever I see that on the shelf, I know I'm not going to be disappointed. I love it, love it, love it. And it's very, very good with the tonic, as I say. So let's try it with the old, well, with nothing in fact. Just try it neat. Yeah, to me, it's very, very harsh, and I think it's difficult to discern any of those flavours. And indeed, I think if I was trying a load of London Dry gins neat, I think I would struggle to tell them apart because they all kind of have that very similar sort of London Dry kick to them, but you lose kind of those individualities, which is, as I say, it's kind of odd because you think you'd get them more with it when it's concentrated, not being watered down. But again, I just really, really like the way that I think that the tonic is custom made for the London Dry gin. So for Tanqueray 10 and most London Dries, use the tonic. So we've been from that end of the scale to this end of the scale. Now we're going right smack bang in the middle of the scale. So this is a gin that works really well, neat, or with tonic, in my opinion, of course. And that is my new little favourite over here, or the not so little favourite, the Brooklyn Gin. Now again, this is an American gin. It's made in New York, okay, obviously as the name suggests. And it's very, unlike the Aviation Gin, it's quite heavy on the junipers, this one. If you take the top off, you'll really... Yeah, it's a real sort of, it's a heady, laden down sort of pregnant sort of aroma of the junipers. It really kind of just sort of sits in there like that. And I kind of like this as a neat gin. So I've got a little bit neat here. Let me have a blast on there. Oh, yes. It kind of bolsters the taste. It gives it a real good, it's got like an amazing foundation. That juniper really sort of gives it a sort of a robust sort of backup when it comes into your mouth. And it's kind of, but at the same time they got this lovely sort of light juniperiness about it, but it all is there. The point is, when you're drinking it neat, unlike with a London Dry, like I said, some of those flavors are lost, I think, with the harshness. This is all in there. It just, my God. The flavors, the aromas as it's coming out the glass is just almost overpowering. It hits you first. So you get this like precursor to the drink with this huge, powerful nasal waft, and then this gorgeous, it feels very light as well as it goes down into your mouth. And it's a real adventure. I really recommend, this is available quite a lot of places now. I really recommend you try this one and have some of it neat. But by the same token, hang on a second. Oh man alive. That really is a match made in heaven. You get all those same sort of flavors, but it's they're kind of uplifted up by this wonderful, wonderful fever tree. It works so well. I'd be hard pushed to pick one. As I say, it's right in the middle of the scales. I could enjoy that equally as much neat as I would do with the tonic. It's just, I tell you, that's one of those gins I could sniff all day as well. They really are very good. So my top tip today, Brooklyn Gin. You can have it neat, or you can have it quite literally with tonic. So we talked about American gins, we talked about London Dry gins, but there's one category we haven't talked about yet, and that is Old Tom. Now, if you don't know what Old Tom is, have a look in the section below. I'll put a link to the video where I explain all about the history of Old Tom gin. Now, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Old Tom gin because it's kind of clawing its way into the mainstream market now. It's just poking its head above the water, but not too many people know about it yet. But I think they will do in the coming months and years. And the one we're going to be looking at today is this little fellow. It's Hortus Old Tom. Just because it's the only one I've got at the moment. There's another one I reviewed called Hayman's Old Tom, which is very, very nice. Oh no, I've got Campfire Old Tom up there as well, but it's a bit too far. I can't reach it, and Hayman's was a lot closer to me, and I'm a lazy bastard. So, as you may or may not know, the Old Tom gin is very distinctive because it is much sweeter than the London Dry. You can smell it straight away. It's kind of like viscous, almost like sort of caramelly kind of essence to it, and that lends itself very well to be drunk neat. Now, obviously, as you can tell, I am running out of glass at the moment, so I've had to use this little tiny one, but I don't think people will mind. So let's have a bit of a blast on this, shall we? Oh, that's so nice. It's just, this is probably my favourite gin to drink neat because of that extra sweetness you get in there. It kind of offsets that really harshness that you get when you drink it neat. To me, the London Dry, you only get the harshness and a tiny bit of flavour. This, you get harshness and lovely sweet flavour, but it's not overpowering, it's not sickly, it's just the perfect amount. I really, really enjoy drinking this one neat. In fact, I could probably drink the whole thing, but I won't because I like to set a responsible example for all my subscribers. So I'll move on to the tonic, and again, this is one that will work probably with both. Well, definitely with both. I know it works well with both. So yes. Very similar to the Brooklyn in the fact that it works with both, but a very, very different gin. It works with both, but in very, very different ways. Again, that sweetness really comes through, and perhaps I always say, people who perhaps aren't huge fans of gin will probably enjoy this if they don't like the traditional, the London Dry or the American, because of that extra sweetness in there. So, Old Tom gin is good to have neat and with tonic, according to me. Now, lastly, but by no means leastly, is this is quite an interesting one. I think it was worth including in the video. This is the fruit gins, okay? So anything like pink gins or orange gins or lemon gins or grapefruit gins or anything like that. You would think they would lend themselves to being drunk neat, because you'd get all that sort of, for example, I'm using the London Beefeater pink here. There's hardly anything left, as you can see. But this is a strawberry gin, okay? Now, I spoke about this the other day on my video about pink gin. It smells and tastes extraordinary. It's like strawberry kind of, that strawberry sauce you get on ice cream, that stuff. It's basically like that. It's really, really good, or strawberry candy. Very, 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 very nice. However, when you try it neat, again, like with the London Dries, that flavour kind of dissipates. Let me get this. You do get it. You do get it. It's kind of, but it kind of goes really quickly. You get that sort of intense blast because you're drinking it neat, and you do obviously you know the strawberries in there, but it kind of dissipates really quickly. It's like sort of like it's really brittle, or like sort of a bubble. You just, as soon as you touch it with the pink, it's just gone. Whereas if you drink it with the tonic, oh man, those flavors, oh yeah, they're still coming. They stay with you. They just fill your nasal cavities and your the back of your throat with all that flavour, and it just poof, it's like someone's just set off like a cloud, I don't know what I'm trying to say. What's something that would explode and make a lot of dust? I don't know. If you imagine that sort of thing, that's what they've done, and it's all strawberry flavoured. It's filled with flavour. It stays there and it hangs in the air inside your mouth, and you just don't get that when you have it neat. It's a bing, and it's gone. It's gone. Whereas this, boom, it's there. So I thought that was worth mentioning in the video, because I think a lot of people will probably think, oh, I think that could probably work well neat. And yeah, fine, it's okay, but it's definitely going to be better, much better with the tonic, that one. So strawberry and other fruity flavoured gins, make sure you use the tonic. And of course, one more thing before we go, the elephant in the room is in fact the tonic itself. And I've said this, millions of times, because I use this same tonic in all my videos. You literally cannot get better than Fever Tree. Personally, I prefer this gold label one, but they do all sorts of different flavors. I did them in another video. I'll put the link in the section below. Some people sometimes put comments and say, "Oh no, there's no point. There's no need to spend that extra money on Fever Tree. Is it really that good?" And in fact, one of my subscribers recently, Mark Reese, actually said to me, "Is it really that much better than Schweppes?" And I said to him, "Well, yeah, Schweppes is okay. It's my second favourite, but try a Fever Tree, see what you think." And he came back to. He was a bit sceptical, but he came back to me and he was like, "Wow!" He actually did a blind test with Schweppes and Fever Tree with Tanqueray, I believe, and he was just like, "It is way better. It brings," and said exactly what I say, it brings out the flavors much more. I don't know how they do it. I don't know that they must be wizards and they are practicing witchcraft, but they really do work magic at Fever Tree. I cannot speak highly enough of them. If I know it is quite expensive, but in my opinion, in my humble opinion, if ever it is worth spending a few more pence or a few more cents on something, it will be on Fever Tree. So if they've got it where you are, please. Schweppes is fine. If you've got Schweppes, that's no problem at all. But if they do have the Fever Tree, and you've never tried it, go out there and try it, because it really does make all the difference in the world. So guys, that's me done for another day. If you've enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to my channel and join my merry band of subscribers, of which I can proudly announce now I have over 1,000. So I'd just like to say a really big thank you to everyone who subscribed and everyone who gets involved with my channel. There's too many to mention now. Really nice, brilliant, thoughtful, intelligent people that contribute and make the channel the kind of miniature success that it has become at the moment. So thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad that you're all on board. And of course, don't forget to like the video and press the bell button so you get notified when any of my new videos come out. And I will see you all next time on No Nonsense Gin Reviews, where I shall be Bobby Freeman. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. That was a long salute today, wasn't it? Yeah.